I'm a supporter of President Donald Trump, voted for him in this election and the last, and the one prior to that. However, President Trump is about to allow JBS, the world's most corrupt beef organization, to become publicly traded in America. President Donald Trump will be the president that allows for the complete destruction of the small, independent family farms and cattle ranches.
Okay, I want to show you all this full clip of AJ Richards, a MAGA voter and a farmer who explains in a 2 or 3 minute video why Trump is losing the support of him and farmers across the country with multiple key actions that Trump and his admin have taken. Now, earlier I made a video about a comedian who also is regretting his vote for Donald Trump, and he said as much. He said he apologizes for even voting for Trump now that Trump is getting the US involved in the Israel-Iran war, very likely. So you see this increased pattern of Trump supporters regretting their votes because Trump conned them, or Trump promised something, and now him and his advisors are executing on something completely differently. Before I even play this video, let me remind you, Trump's entire admin is now chickening out on the immigration raids. And I don't say that as someone who wants them to happen even further. I mean, Trump has spent his entire political career promising this aggressive deportation stance, and now he is completely backing down. And large portions of MAGA are mad at this as well. Inside Trump's extraordinary turnaround on immigration raids, President Trump's decision to pause most raids targeting farms and hospitality workers took many inside the White House by surprise. And of course, I support the pause. You guys know that. But the point here is Trump can't keep a consistent policy to save his life. And he always ends up alienating a large portion of his base because of the way that he operates. What about this one? Wisconsin dairy farmer sues Trump administration, claiming discrimination against white farmers. Talk about being eaten by your own. A Wisconsin dairy farmer alleged in a federal lawsuit filed today, Monday, June 16th, that the Trump admin is illegally denying financial assistance to white farmers by continuing programs that favor minorities. So this is a case of the Trump admin trying to claim they're eradicating DEI, but still keeping in some equitable policies for farmers, and then farmers getting angry. The conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed the lawsuit, but I don't even find that as important as a Trump admin backing down. Listen to this. On Wednesday morning, President Trump took a call from Brooke Rollins, his Secretary of Agriculture, who relayed a growing sense of alarm from the heartland. Farmers and agriculture groups, she said, were increasingly uneasy about his immigration crackdown. Federal agents had begun to aggressively target work sites in recent weeks with the goal of sharply bolstering the number of arrests. Now let's watch this video of AJ Richards. Make sure that you drop a like. And I keep getting comments like, Adam, I've been watching since 200K and I just realized that I wasn't subscribed. Fixing that now. So join the crew. We are building a powerhouse of a channel with you all. I appreciate it all. Let's watch this clip of a farmer explaining exactly how Trump lost his vote.
I'm a supporter of President Donald Trump, voted for him in this election and the last, and the one prior to that. However, President Trump is about to allow JBS, the world's most corrupt beef organization, to become publicly traded in America. President Donald Trump will be the president that allows for the complete destruction of the small, independent family farms and cattle ranches if he allows this to go through. The SEC has already approved it. Now we're just waiting a mere few days for them to allow it on the stock exchange. And what's concerning is we haven't heard a word from the Secretary of Agriculture about this. We haven't heard any of the large cattle organizations that represent cattlemen speak out about this. They claim to represent cattlemen. The truth is they only represent the big guys. They're bought and paid for by the same organizations, JBS, Cargill, Tyson, National Beef, all the collusion that's happening. Go do a very simple search and you'll see the millions and millions, and tens upon millions of dollars that these companies have been ordered to pay for collusion and price fixing, which has cost us our family farms and ranches. And what that costs us as the people who aren't family farms and ranches is a stable food system. As much as I'm a supporter of many of the other things that Trump is doing, anything else in the world that we're working to accomplish and achieve doesn't matter when you have famine and you starve to death. So, Mr. President, I love you. I appreciate you. It is our job as citizens to hold you accountable, and whoever you've got in your circle, they ain't speaking truth, because you're about to put us in a whole world of hurt. Folks, I need you to share this. This is urgent. We've only got a mere few days, and we need millions of people to put pressure to stop this, or it's going to be it'll be a much harder fight to come back from. Thanks, everybody. Shake the hand to feed you.
I just want you to think about this for 1 second. Think about what this means. So his entire contention, and the contention of the farmer community, is that JBS, a Brazilian company, is now able to go public. This says shares of scandal-plagued Brazilian meat giant JBS rise 3% in U.S. public debut. The farmer was right. AJ was right. It is scandal-plagued. It is incredibly corrupt, and who the hell knows what kind of deal Trump cut to get this, but they immediately debuted with a solid stock price. And here's the ironic part. What this does is it essentially outsources more food independence to other countries, or it removes food independence from the United States. So having JBS duly listed here and having it having more global reach means the U.S. loses economic independence in agriculture. Trump has been making the argument that he wants the U.S. economy to be more independent on the global stage. That's why he's placing tariffs, to reshore manufacturing. But when he's cutting some weirdly corrupt deal that benefits himself with a scandal-plagued company, he's willing to outsource our meat. This also, of course, just creates more competition for small farmers, for, small firms in the United States. And again, JBS has a long record of corruption scandals, environmental violations, labor issues. So its expansion into the U.S. market doesn't, provide guardrails. It actually drew bipartisan opposition from lawmakers on both sides, saying the company's ethics will begin to impact domestic producers in bad ways. The company has even faced fines for sourcing cattle illegally from illegally deforested Amazon land and bribing people to get them. It's just not a company we want to be associated with, but I guess Trump does. So just think about it like this. Now that it's listed in the US, JBS can begin to acquire more and more American companies, further consolidating the meatpacking industry and reducing American economic independence, reducing competition, and limiting farmer and consumer choice. I'm gonna leave it at that. Some issues kind of go under the radar, like this one. I feel like this one hasn't been talked about enough. That's why when I came across this video of AJ and he was saying, please share this, I said, yes, sir, I will share this. I think this is important. I think we should be sharing this with farmers, families, friends, everybody. If you appreciate the work I do, make sure you subscribe below to stay updated. I love all of you. I'm incredibly grateful. I've been meeting a lot of you guys out in public, not only at the protests, but I was grabbing lunch the other day and I met some amazing people. I am just randomly fist bumping people on the street. It's amazing. I love meeting all of you guys. Love you all. See you in the next one, and peace out.